everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're having a good day, and if you're not, that's okay. Last week I've been thinking about quite a lot of things, and I realized that for the first time in my entire life, I am actually intentionally turning all of my energy and my attention back to myself. And it's just heartbreaking to realize that I have never done that before. For example, when I was around, Jesus, excuse me, when I was around 16 till 20, I used to beg, crave, desire, long from the bottom of my heart for people to look at me and acknowledge that I was in pain, that emotionally I was in so much pain. I was just like, please look at me and acknowledge it, acknowledge my pain and love me through it, please. And I had this realization that even though I was begging everyone else to acknowledge my pain, I never ever gave it to myself. I never gave the acknowledgement that I needed to myself, ever. All of the times that I was in pain, I shut off my mind, I went into dissociation mode, and I would just look away as much as I could, because why would I want to acknowledge my own pain? That would hurt like crazy. But that's the whole thing, baby. It needs to hurt. It needs to hurt, and you need to acknowledge the hurt before anyone else can. And I'll tell you a little secret. No matter how much you beg, and no matter what amount of people you meet, they will never ever be able to acknowledge the pain the way that you could ever acknowledge your pain, because you are the one that knows how it feels. You are the one that knows how detrimental some moments in your life have been and how strong you were for overcoming those. After I realized that I have never acknowledged all of the situations where I was actually hurting, I started with one situation. I started off with a situation that I had when I was around 21, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back into that memory and I'm gonna relive the pain. And I felt it. I was crying in my bed, reliving these memories, reliving the pain. And in this memory, I became an active member, the me now became an active member in the memory of the me then. So I kind of stepped away from the memory me that was hurting and crying and had this situation that was hurting so much. And future me in this memory would open my arms and I would say, I see you. I see your pain. And I'm sorry that I've never allowed you to feel and acknowledge how much pain you've been in, but I'm here acknowledging you now. And I would just hug my younger self in this memory, and I would take as long as it needed and to feel that love truly embody that memory and embody my younger self, to feel that self-love wrap me up in acknowledgement and in being seen and being loved. That feeling, no one could ever give me that. No other person outside of myself could ever give me the feeling I gave to myself that night. And it healed a layer within me. See, I am a former believer that we are made out of layers. We are made out of experiences, because all of the things that have happened to you in the past, they didn't go away. They're part of who you are now. And I know people are always like, the past doesn't define you. Heck, yes, it does. It makes you the person you are today. And that's beautiful. Of course, there's so many other factors. It's the nurture or nature debate that can come into play with this. But in the end, You cannot deny that what has happened in the past doesn't have an effect on who you are now, as long as you haven't acknowledged it properly. You need to acknowledge what has happened to you, all of the bad memories, because those are the ones that subconsciously create an image of life in your future and now moment, if it makes sense. So, all of the bad things that have happened to you, have you actually allowed and loved yourself in the moments that it was happening? If you did, holy shribbles, you're amazing. That is high emotional intelligence to the maximum. But if you didn't, like most people wouldn't be able to, because if you're in a distressing situation, you're not gonna be like, oh, well, better love myself and acknowledge what I'm feeling. In the past, we probably didn't know that we had to do those things, but now you do. And I'm not saying that in future moments you are able to sit still when a car crash is happening and saying like, wow, this is hurting and I should love myself during. No, that's not what I'm saying. I am saying that now, if you're in a space where you're able to create a safe space where there is love for yourself present, which should be present because all of your younger versions have survived. They have done everything they could to get through that situation. Whether it was good stuff or bad stuff, they did it to survive. So either way, if you have the ability to sit down and go back to those younger versions of yourself that are still inside you, that are still feeling that pain, and you're able to come to them, hold them, see them in all the emotions that they feel, hold space, and hold an unlimited amount of love for those younger versions of you, that's a journey to growth. The amount of calmness it will bring you in a way that you didn't know you needed. There will be parts in your body that will still struggle with these memories in your subconscious happening. And then when you bring it to the conscious light and you heal and love, not because they were wrong versions of you, but because they were not seen and not acknowledged and not loved. You love them, you bring them to you, you put them in your heart, and you carry them along with you. The calmness that it brings in all of that subconscious that was so rumbling and bubbling before you even understood that it was rumbling and bubbling, the calmness it brings is just wow. I have a long way to go. I did not acknowledge all of the situation. That's gonna take a lifetime probably. But I now know a method that really works for me, and I really wanted to share this method with you because if it can help at least just one person out there that is struggling with subconscious depression or subconscious trauma, if it's deep-rooted trauma, by the way, I am no psychologist. I don't know how to tackle those type of situations, and I would recommend you don't do it alone because sometimes past situations can have a grip on you in your subconscious without you even knowing how deep that grip is, and it can cause you to spiral into even further depths of pain and numbness. Keep the high traumatic experiences for you and a therapist, you and a psychologist or psychiatrist or whoever can help you with that. Don't do those alone. But if you went to heavy breakups, or if you have had traumatic car incidents, not too traumatic, but car incidents, or people that you loved so much that left you, or when you were younger, ice cream fell out of your hand and you really wanted an ice cream, those experiences, you can hug all of those versions. Don't do them all at once. Do them one by one. Take your time. Healing is a long journey, and you deserve all the time and acknowledgement. I don't know. Oh, something fell. Oh wait, I should check on that actually. Okay, nothing important fell, just a shampoo bottle. I want to end this video on a small note. After the realization of being able to hold your younger self in such an intense, calming, loving, acknowledging way. So I wrote, so many versions of me live inside of me, so many layers. But do not worry, I am going to acknowledge all of me, all of you. When you are ready to feel my love, you will never feel unheard or unseen or unloved again, because now I am here, more present than I've ever been. Is there anything else I want to say? You're gonna be okay. You really, really, really are. You're gonna be more than okay. Healing can be tough, but you deserve it, and you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be so much more than fine. If you put in the effort too, because healing does take a little bit of effort, you're gonna be more than fine. It's your patterns and you created them, so you can undo them. Yeah. I'm gonna go for a walk, and it just got cloudy and it was sunny, so but whatever. I'll see how my walk goes in the cloudy weather. Ooh, sorry, darling. Thank you so much for watching. Then if you watch this whole thing again, oh my gosh, thank you. That is amazing. That is so sweet. If you didn't, well, you're probably not here anyway, so it doesn't really, I love you too. It doesn't really, I don't know what I'm doing. Right, take care, be safe, and love yourself more than you love anyone else, okay? Mwah!